Coming up on Gameball NFL Endzone, Mike and I recap last week's football forecast. The Bills surprised, the Packers took care of business, and the other teams we'll get into as well. In our second segment, Bill Belichick recorded his 300th career victory over the weekend. We talk about him and how great of a coach he is. Is he the greatest of all time? Beyond the greatest of all time? Is there anyone better? We'll break it down. And of course, in our third segment, as always, our football forecast coming up on Gameball NFL Endzone. What's happening, everyone?
Welcome to Gameball NFL Endzone, where the football season never ends. It's your boy, Michael Riley.
And I'm Luke Hartnett.
And together we holding out our brother, once again, who could not be with us, Marcus Young Genius Jenkins. And congratulations to his son's team for winning the championship. Go JoJo Beast. Josiah doing the damn thing. Also, congratulations and a big shout out to Coach Leon Beckham, who is coaching the Lawrence Warriors. Congratulations to him. And also, congratulations to the football wife of Marcus and football mom of JoJo. We salute you for all you done. Take care of that boy. Let's get started with the recap of the football forecast week 9. Philadelphia Eagles 31-13. Carolina Panthers will lose big to the 49ers, a score of 51-13. Texas getting done at home, 27-24. Green Bay Packers get done on the road without Patrick Mahomes against the Chiefs, 31-14. Philadelphia Eagles, Bills, let's go.
Buffalo, they might be in trouble going forward, and here's why. The NFL is a copycat league. So obviously Philadelphia was able to do something against them that the remaining 6, 7, 8 games they have left in the season, teams are going to be breaking down. You know the Patriots are going to be looking at that tape real well too. They kind of got away with one in Buffalo earlier in the year. When they run it back in Foxborough, it's you know the Patriots are going to be looking at this tape and hard.
Oh yeah. And with the Eagles, when they're back against the wall, last year, this time of year, they was 3-4, and they went 6-2, got into the playoffs. Same thing, back against the wall, 3-4. They got a winning streak going of 1. Offense, defense, and special teams did the damn thing, run the ball, get turnovers, and held the Bills in check.
Tough second half for the Eagles. They do get home games against Dallas and Seattle. I believe the Seattle game's a Sunday night affair. But those two games kind of highlight what's going to be a difficult stretch for them coming up in the season's back half.
I think the Eagles can get it done. It's just a matter of when they get Deshaun Jackson back. All right, the San Francisco 49ers, 51-13, a dominating win.
The San Francisco 49ers offensive line and the receivers had to block very well. I mean, I mentioned the receivers because they say the difference between a 5-yard run and a 50-yard run, or when the receivers block the defensive backs, springing when they get the running backs from the second to third part of the defense and ultimately into the end zone. Garoppolo, he was effective, 18-22. I think only 170 some odd yards though.
And a touchdown and a pick.
A touchdown and a pick as well, as you mentioned, but. I guess when you're running the ball as well as they are, and you're getting, like home run running plays on top of that, you don't really have to throw the ball too terribly much. At that point, you're just kind of throwing the ball to be safe, keep the defense honest. But if San Francisco can run on that, that really blew me away how well they ran the ball on them. I mean, not that I'm heavily impressed with the Panthers' run defense, but they were just so consistent with their game plan.
Well, let's talk about that 49ers defense. And Nick Bosa, he was tearing it up. 3 sacks and a pick, almost a pick 6. I mean, their defense is playing on all cylinders right now. And get it up for Kyle Shanahan, who has opened the playbook up more to Jimmy Garoppolo so he get him comfortable. And the running game is just working all cylinders for the 49ers offense. That's the reason why they're 7-0. Carolina Panthers, they got a lot of work to do. And Cam Newton's still rehabbing from that foot injury.
I think Richard Sherman has that 49ers defense. They're believing they're a lot better than what they really are. And that's not to be an insult to them either. I think he did the same thing in Seattle. That Seahawks defense was good, but you talk to him, he'd make them sound like the greatest of all time. And as long as you think you're the best defense in the league, that it really doesn't matter if you are or not. As long as you have it up here that you are, he's got, is San Francisco the best defensive unit in the league? Maybe, maybe not. I think Richard Sherman in that locker room has them ultimately believing they are, which has to go for something.
Yeah. Houston, Texas, 27. Oakland Raiders, 24. Break it down.
I mean, Deshaun Watson was just, he answers the question what it would be like to see if Russell Wilson played for other teams. He's kind of a carbon copy of the guy. Takes bigger hits. I'd like to see him do something about that as well. Runs the football a little bit more than Wilson in Seattle does. But, he had the touchdown where he got, I guess, kicked in the face. He's got the open face mask, and a defender he kind of got parallel to the ground and inadvertently caught him in the face with the cleat. Still threw a touchdown. Finished the game with a swollen eye. Believe it was about the only time the Texans led in that game. Oakland played a rather good first half. John Gruden, I think he went to the Andy Reid School of Challenges. There were a couple of red flags there. He had it in the hand and then swallowed it. I don't know why he didn't. I think one was a pass interference. They probably weren't going to reverse the call. But you're behind. It's the fourth quarter. You need, like a 30-yard chunk play that the interference would have gave you. You got to take your shots right there. So I kind of question some of the lack of challenges by the Raiders in this one. And Houston, every game they played outside of the Atlanta Falcons game where they won like 53-24, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a one-score game. Win or lose, they played more one-score games in the league than anybody.
Well, Houston did a pretty good job, and unfortunately, they lost J.J. Watt for the season, as it was reported earlier. This is a big blow for the Houston Texans defense. So how they gonna replace J.J. Watt, who was starting to ball again, be that defensive player of the year machine, and just that pec injury or some type of injury in the chest just killed that defense. And Oakland Raiders, they was able to get it going, but it's just the Oakland Raiders. They get something going, and all of a sudden something bad happens.
They're kind of like the AFC Cowboys, if you will. I think I want to point out the thing I want to mention about Houston right quick is that they, or not just Houston, the AFC South went 4-0, so this is a big-time win for Houston. They had to keep pace.
Oh, yeah. Green Bay Packers 31, Kansas City Chiefs 24.
The Chiefs, they fell behind 14-0, which I don't think really surprised too terribly many people, not me anyway. Rebounded to have a 17-14 lead there in the second half. The problem was Green Bay scored every time they had the ball, except the last time they had the ball in the second half when they just ran the clock out.
And the question is, why do you put a linebacker on a running back in the passing game? You don't do that. And that's how they got burnt twice for those long touchdown passes. Either you put a slot corner on them.
That's also why Green Bay got the final first down to run the clock out.
You also put a cornerback on them, or you can put Tyrann Mathieu, the safety, on them to stop from them big plays going. The Chiefs had it rolling offensively. Matt Moore did a pretty good damn job offensively. He didn't have no turnovers, no fumbles or interceptions, but LaShawn McCoy, come on, dude. You got to take care of the ball like that. That's what hurt the Chiefs, was that fumble right there, and that was signed, sealed, delivered. And congratulations, Green Bay Packers, to doing the thing.
7-1.
Exactly. That would do it for the first segment. Second segment, we're going to get down to Coach Belichick, who has his 300 win. He's the greatest all time, ahead of two other coaches that got more wins than him. Stay tuned. Gameball NFL Endzone.
What's happening, everyone?
Welcome back to Gameball NFL Endzone, where the football season never ends. Segment number 2. Patriots head coach Bill Belichick win against the Cleveland Browns makes it 300 career wins as a head coach. He's third of all time behind George Halas and Don Shula. Does that make him the greatest coach of all time?
I mean, it's really hard to judge for me on this because I missed the majority of Don Shula's coaching career and undoubtedly all of George Halas' career as well. But just three things I want to point out for all three of the coaches here. George Halas, he was the coach of the Bears, I think, when the NFL first formed, right in 1920, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So he kind of had to help build a franchise and a league from the ground up. Don Shula, he had to transform from the AFL, NFL merger to the Super Bowl era after 1970, coached for the Colts, coached for the Dolphins afterwards, and he kind of had to help usher in that whole AFL, NFL merger era of football right there. Not easy to do as well. And third of all, Belichick, he's had to, I think, undoubtedly go through more rule changes. They changed rules just so much from year to year to year, and he's on top of everything. So for him to be just as on top of the rule change when they're changing them more and more than ever, and to the offense's advantage, he's got that defense always a step ahead of the offense no matter how much the rule changes favor the offensive units. He's really holding it down there as well.
Well, I would say I'm biased as a Patriot fan. He is the greatest coach of all time, maybe ever, because what he has done since his coaching days when he was a defensive coordinator for the Giants, he was creating defensive plays. Then he became a head coach with the Browns. That didn't go too well. I felt like the owner stabbed him in the back. Then he came to coach of the Patriots, got them to 3 Super Bowls. Then waited to adjust his defense. Then fell off a little bit. Then you can say whatever you want to say about Spygate, but it is what it is. I don't count that year. But the last 3 out of 4 years in the Super Bowl and coming up short, winning 1 against the Eagles, he has adjusted a lot. And he's the only NFL head coach with 6 Super Bowl rings. 6 Super Bowl rings as a head coach. You can't say that's the greatest of all time. He's first ballot Hall of Fame. And this year, he got his defense playing well. He has versatile players, and he loves versatile players who are smart, that are willing to play to their strengths and play different positions. You're not just an inside linebacker, you're a linebacker. That means you're playing every linebacker position. And with the defensive line, you play every defensive line position. Same thing with the secondary. That's why the players love to play for him, because they let him use their versatility over that. And Bill Belichick, he's just a genius and mastermind of the defense.
Now, to be fair, George Halas never had the opportunity to coach in the Super Bowl. The league was 46 years old before Super Bowl I happened. And as I mentioned, Don Shula, he was coaching before Super Bowl I happened. It kind of helped usher in the whole Super Bowl era as well. So Super Bowls in this particular case might not be the best judgment on this one. It's impressive, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, it's probably something we'll never see again in our lifetimes, but perhaps not the greatest standard bearer for the comparison to these 3. And then the trophy's named, sorry to interrupt, but the trophy's named after Vince Lombardi. I know he's not on the wins column, but all the championships with the Packers and having the Super Bowl trophy literally named after him as well. He deserves a shout out as well.
Yeah, can't forget about him. And he lost 2 defensive coordinators back to back, and his defense is still playing at a high level. He's more involved in defense, more with the play calling and all that stuff, and they're number 1 for a reason. And every time the defense gets a turnover, they score a touchdown off of that. So they just playing good ball off of that. And that will do it for that second segment. Last segment, forecast, picks, and predictions on Gameball NFL Endzone.
What's happening, everyone?
Welcome back to Gameball NFL Endzone, where the football season never ends. Segment number 3, Week 9 forecast, matchups, and predictions. Tell us what this Sunday's forecast loop on the Football Weather Channel.
We got old Minnesota coming to Kansas City. Going to be at Arrowhead Stadium in a noon kickoff there. Minnesota, yeah, it's cold up there. They play indoors though, so. Pat Mahomes hasn't been ruled out entirely for this game. Kind of hard to make a pick when we don't know if it's going to be Pat or Matt at quarterback.
Yeah, for the Kansas City Chiefs, they have to stop the run. Minnesota Vikings is league-leading rushing team, and Dalvin Cook is having a good year, a career year running the ball, as well as catching the ball in the backfield. The receivers is clicking, the tight ends clicking. And Kirk Cousins is starting to play to his potential, but I'm still not sold on Kirk Cousins. And defense, that Minnesota Vikings is pretty damn good. They can play some good defense. And can the Chiefs' defense stop the running game, force the team to be one-dimensional? And can that offense be able to go toe-to-toe with the Vikings' defense? Chicago Bears versus Philadelphia Eagles, break it down.
We get to revisit last year's wild card game where Cody Parkey, had the old double doink, as they called it, that would have put the Bears into the divisional round of the playoffs. The Bears would have been going to, because of the way the seeding worked out, they would have been going back to the Rams, who they defeated in the Windy City, in mid-December. The Cowboys ultimately would have been going to New Orleans, who they defeated at home as well, I think in mid-November. So it would have really changed it and made for some interesting playoff matchups there. The Bears... different kickers, same result. Missed from 41 at the gun against I believe the Chargers this past weekend. Bad luck been on the side of the Bears this year. The Eagles, are they back on track? Are they still reeling? I mean, you look at the last 2 weeks, 37-13 losers to Dallas, 31-13 winners at Buffalo. Who knows?
Well, quick question. Do you think the Bears regretting taking Mr. Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson?
I mean, it's easy to say that now, but if Parkey makes that kick against the Eagles last year, who knows what happens after that? If their kicker makes the kick, the kicker's name's escaping me right now at the moment, but I mean, I think they regret not winning games more. I mean, it's always easy to go hindsight 2020 on that. But let's not make it sound like they had the number 1 pick in the draft. I think Cleveland kind of would have preferred to have a Watson and Mahomes over a Myles Garrett too. So, and there were I think 6-7 picks between the Bears at 2 and the Chiefs who traded up to number 10. Given the stats and the pure results on the field, of course they'd like to have either Watson or Mahomes. But I think if they were just simply winning games, making kicks, it'd be a lot easier pill to swallow.
Well, I'm not sold on Mitchell Trubisky yet, and he hasn't really shown me he could take that next step. He was the number 2 pick overall. In my opinion, I think they regretted taking Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson because you got one of the best defenses in the NFL, and your Achilles heel is the offense who can't get it done at times and at all, which is causing you to lose close games, and tough pill to swallow so far. And offensively, they have to bounce back, take advantage of what the defense gives them against the Eagles. Now, the Eagles bounced back tremendously, running the ball effectively, be consistent in the pass. Carson Wentz didn't have no turnovers. If you can have that and play good defense, I think Philadelphia.
Yeah, they run the ball like that. They're not losing another game this year.
I agree. Tennessee Titans, Carolina Panthers, let's go.
I'm tempted to lean with the Titans on this one. We saw from the Panthers this past weekend against San Francisco, very similar to what we saw against the Steelers last year from Carolina. They were 6-2, going to Pittsburgh for a Thursday night game. I believe they lost 52-21. Missed the playoffs. Could be deja vu all over again for them.
Yeah, Titans, they got a winning streak going on with Tannehill. Panthers coming off that blow-off loss. They're going to stick with that Allen kick. Cam Newton is still rehabbing from that foot injury. And can the defense bounce back against the Titans offense, we shall see. It's going to come down to how will the Carolina Panthers defense bounce back.
It looks like Tennessee, they got shut out at Denver a few weeks ago. Switched to Tannehill at quarterback. So far, seems like the right move.
I agree.
Then we got a Sunday night primetime game. They couldn't have picked a better one. New England Patriots at the Big Crab Cake and the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, this is going to be the biggest challenge for the Patriots, especially on defense. How do you contain Lamar Jackson? And I think what Belichick is going to do, he's going to bring out the zero cover blitz and have a spy on the quarterback just in case if he breaks out. And the unsung hero on the Patriots defense has to be Jamie Collins because they got him back for the Cleveland Browns. He is putting on a good year. 6 sacks, bunch of tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, forced fumble recovery. He just all over the field. And they missed him for a few seasons. They sure are happy you're back. They clicking on all cylinders. And they called the linebacker crew the boogeyman. And you wonder why, because Sam Darnold was seeing ghosts. Will that continue with Lamar Jackson? We don't know. So with the defense, you have to contain Lamar Jackson for making big plays if the Patriots want to win this game. The issue is the Patriots' offense. The offensive line has been inconsistent, but it's always the Patriots. They start slow, then they find their way. But this year, they're starting off fast because of the defense.
I think Kyle Van Noy is actually another guy that deserves a shout out too. He's kind of the Mike Vrabel of this year's unit, if you would. Kind of spearheading everything, kind of under the radar. He doesn't quite have the statistics that Jamie Collins does. He's still kind of the engine that gets that team going. Though they drop off significantly without just what he brings mentally to the game right there. All right, prediction time: Vikings at Chiefs. Mike, who you got?
I got the Vikings. It's going to be difficult to stop that rushing attack. And their offensive line is clicking on all cylinders. Kirk Cousins is playing well to a certain extent. I'm still not sold on him. But I'll say the Vikings get it done. Running the ball, play good defense, running out the clock, winning time possession battle. I'm going to say the Vikings win this one. 30-20 Vikings.
Chiefs had a hard time slowing down Kerryon Johnson to the Lions. Maybe, probably could have, should have, would have lost that game. Couldn't stop Marlon Mack, did lose that game. Had a hard time slowing down Mark Ingram before the Kerryon Johnson Lions game. They actually got up to a decent offensive start. I think the Ravens kind of outcoached themselves by ultimately going for 2, going for it on 4th down and getting stopped, falling behind 23-6. But they gave up over 100 yards to Carlos Hyde at Houston, after the Marlon Mack Indianapolis game. None of them guys are Dalvin Cook. As soon as you mention the Chiefs, run D and Dalvin Cook, won't be a blowout on the scoreboard, but it will be on time of possession. Kansas City just doesn't have the ball often enough to make the plays. Going to go with the Vikings. I think they win 31-24.
All right, Chicago Bears versus the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, I think that's right. Fly, Eagles, fly. They're coming in off of some good mojo, and the Bears are not. Of course, we thought the Eagles were left for dead after the Dallas game a few weeks ago, but home field, impressive win over the Bills. The Bears, they're reeling. That lost to the Chargers. That's not the only thing hurting the Bears right now. They lost overseas to the Raiders. They had to kick a 53-yard field goal at the gun to beat the Broncos in week 2. Lost week. No shame in losing to the Packers. They lost 10-3 though. You got to do better than that. Philadelphia, I think, keeps that anemic Bears offense grounded. They win 20-10.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles as well. They're at home. They have a very big win against a good team on the road. That running game was clicking on all cylinders. I believe that continues, and Doug Peters finds a way to adjust and put his players in position to make plays offensively to get the production to win games. So I believe that continues. I'm going to say Philadelphia beats the Bears. I'm going to say 35-20.
Tennessee Titans going to the Queen City to play the Carolina Panthers.
I think the Panthers will get a bounce-back win because that 51 points is a sour taste to the mouth. What makes you want to vomit. It's just like, ugh. That was a bad beatdown. That was embarrassing. It's going to be hell week in practice for the Carolina Panthers. Coach Don Rivers is not happy about the performance. And Luke Kuechly and the crew going to be fired up, and they're at home. So I say the Carolina Panthers get it done. And a very close one, I'm going to say 27-20, Carolina Panthers.
I'm really torn on this one right here. I haven't got a chance to check the spreads on these games yet, but it's got to be close to a pick 'em. Gonna have to go with
the time is 8:45.
Shout out to the Lawrence Public Library letting us do our podcast here at the library forum. So kudos to them. Here, after the games every start of the week.
No new library cards will be issued today. Any children or teens needing help calling for a ride home should go to the children's or teen desk now. Please bring anything you plan to borrow to the nearest checkout station at this time. Thank you.
Our apologies. We do our best to make our, take our breaks, get our picks in before and after the announcements here. But given the extra time due to the announcement, I'm going to go Carolina as well. I think they went 24-20. I don't feel good about that pick, but only because I feel even less good about picking Tennessee. Then the primetime showdown, Sunday night, Patriots at Baltimore.
I got the Patriots winning this one. I think by getting Mohamed Sanu in that trade, and I think with the trade deadline coming up with the next day, that being tomorrow, I think they might get one or two extra players in that trade deadline to help them win. And I'm going to take, of course I'm going with the Patriots on this one, but it'll be a very close one. It'll be a dogfight, but that defense leads the way once again. I'm going to say the Patriots win this one 24-17. Tough win on the road.
As much love, and deservedly so, that Lamar Jackson is getting, they did kind of outthink themselves at Kansas City, as I mentioned earlier. And for all the love he was getting after the Seattle game, and I was giving as much as anyone, a few things I want to break down there. They scored one offensive touchdown. It came at a moment in the second half when it was 4th down and they were going to go for the field goal, and the young kid Lamar Jackson talked Coach Harbaugh into going for it. They scored one offensive touchdown at Seattle on a 4th down play. Marcus Peters took a pick 6, and with the game pretty much out of hand, they ran a Seahawk fumble back for a touchdown as well. Given what we see from the Patriots, even though the game's at Baltimore, the defense is playing so well. I expect Baltimore to put yards up on them because they're just hard to defend. Something tells me that the Patriots give up more field goals and touchdowns, though. They'll do just enough on offense to win. It's going to be 20-16 Patriots.
All right, that will do it for Gameball NFL. Is on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Gmail, YouTube. You can follow all that social media on the right side, and that will be to your left side. Thank you for supporting us since day one. Also, keep subscribing on that YouTube channel. Hit that like and subscribe. And also, get your clothing gear on our clothing line website at gameballshop.equid.com. That's gameballshop.equid.com. And we can't forget about our other brother who we're holding down for, Marcus Young Genius Jenkins. Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all in one word, Jovel NT. And don't forget to hit that underscore button, and I'm going to pass it on to you.
Find me on Facebook at Luke Hartnett and on Twitter at Luke Hartnett2. I'm on there all the time. Hit me up. I'll get back to you as quickly and non-biasedly as I can.
I'm Michael Riley.
And I'm Luke Hartnett.
This is Gameball NFL Endzone, when the football season never ends. Peace. We are out, and see you next week.